Okay, so this is CP Turbine A2. Um, I just had a couple thoughts. I wanted to go over it. There's rollouts at the end of the video, although they're a bit difficult to do, um, just because of like how flat this map is, and especially now with like this little kind of slope downwards. Um, but yeah, I'll just go over a couple of things. So on Lost, I feel like this last point is just way too small. This can't be like, in terms of width, this can't be more than like 1,000 hammer units, and that's me being generous just by what I see. I really think you need to like make it longer. And I see what you're going for, because it just reminds me of Process Lost. But I don't know, Process Lost, there's kind of a bit more height variation towards the bottom. Um, you know, like the gap between here and here is like a bit longer. The point itself is like longer. Um, you know, I think there are a few like easy ways you could kind of mess with the this spawn door, because it's like in this hallway. Anybody that's coming out this way, like if I have like a soldier here, like a soldier's just gonna be able to like fire rockets there and just block anyone from getting out here. So then this would become really the only route out. And again, this is kind of tight. I would say just like this wall, just get rid of it. Have it so that I can stand like here, so that like this corner and this corner meet. And then just have it so that like the spawn door faces the right, kind of like CP Sunshine. So like I I can get out a lot more easily, but I also still can't like watch much as sniper, like kind of doing this. And I would say do the same for this doorway, just to make it so that I don't immediately get spammed out if I'm trying to leave this way. Just to make things a bit easier. Maybe what you should do is, instead of like pulling it forwards this way, you should just push like everything from here, just like move that backwards. And then you'll have like a lot more space on Lost to play. Although I do think you should kind of move this forwards. Maybe do something similar to Process, where like you have the doorways here come out to the sides, instead of it being that you take like a kind of curve where, you know, I'm standing here and I curve around this way. And then that would make it so that it would kind of eliminate this sight line as well. And like this one. It would make it a bit easier to kind of go through and like sit in and be safe. There's no health on this Lost, which is going to make attacking quite difficult, because if I'm coming in to attack Lost and I take damage, I have to go back here. I have to go back here to get some health. And I mean, it's not a long distance now, but like if you extend Lost, it's gonna be a bit more of a long distance. So I don't know. I'd like to see like a little pack this side maybe, or like something this side. Maybe not this side, because you're kind of close to here, but just something to make offense a bit easier. In terms of the entrances, I think these two being right next to each other is like a little bit weird. I mean, you kind of... This entrance is quite out of the way because it goes directly from mid. And this entrance is also quite out of the way because it's like all the way to the side, and you have to travel such a long distance and you don't really see anybody. And you have to go in front of like... I assume this is their forward spawn. Okay, yeah. So it's quite a long distance to travel just to get to Lost. So I would say a lot of this kind of has to do with the fact that there's no lobby, if you know what I mean. There's no... Well, there's like a lobby area, but it's like if I'm standing here, I can't go like here. I just have to be stood like here. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with this map, is just that there isn't like an actual proper lobby. So if you had it so that like, don't make it like a massive room. Maybe like if you've seen like coal plant, like lobby on coal plant sized, maybe have it so that it kind of it's like this side, and then have it so that it doesn't go as far on mid. Maybe like here-ish. I don't know. You'd have to mess with things, but at the moment it's all of the paths are like way too long, and I think you need like a centralized place. And then you could have it so that like this doorway would just be a lot closer. You could literally just have it so that it like comes out here or whatever, and you'd be good. I think having to jump to get up here is a little bit weird as well. It's gonna make rollouts kind of a bit more annoying. Oh, that's a node roll. Yeah. I mean, obviously the rollout to mid is just this way. So this tunnel here, I would suggest that you just cut that off like here. Have it just be like a stairway down to the bottom or something. And then, you know, once you're in the lobby, you're like actually in the lobby. You're not like in this weird kind of like half room almost, where you're like a little bit trapped. Yeah. It's kind of difficult for me to think of to verbalize ways that you could actually change this, just because it's so close to Turbine, and Turbine is like such a choky map, but there's a lot you could do. Generally, I would just suggest making like this, like all one room. Maybe don't keep the top area here, because it's so weird and it's such a long distance to travel. I would say you could maybe have it so that there's like a platform that takes you slightly like higher here. Like have the doorway just open up like here, and then just have it so that it takes you into like this lobby, and that would work out just fine. But also like just be wary of like sniper sightlines and stuff, because on Turbine it's pretty bad. You know, I can go through here, and if you're putting like a doorway here, that means I could stand in this choke and just see all the way over here, which would be a bit busted. So I don't know, maybe have it like slightly to this side, and then you can have this entrance kind of come out here. I think this entrance you should have like come out on this crate instead, kind of like how Turbine Pro does it. Just have it come out on top, and then instead of this being a crate, just have it be like a platform. This Turbine, I think you should move slightly to the left. Just because it's gonna be, you know, if I'm here, this is pretty tight. I mean, I would say have it so that like the entrance is here, and like this platform kind of goes maybe up to like here-ish, because then you can kind of, you know, you can get on the spire a bit easier. So yeah, don't have this be a crate, have it be a platform instead. Just generally, I think mid needs a bit more height variation. I think if you lifted up this Turbine a bit, and then just had it so that there was like a ramp going up here, then it would work a bit better. I think there's a map called CP Sultry that kind of did what I'm describing, and I think you should look at Sultry mid, because that's going to be a good source of inspiration for you. If you had it so that like you kind of come out here, and maybe there's like some crates for cover somewhere along this or something, and also like you can kind of jump off it. Make this spire, obviously it's like you'd have to get a model for it, but make it so that there's no like top bit of this turbine that's going over the point. You can just do that with brushes for now if there's no model for it. It's not a big deal. But I think just the top of the turbine just makes it a little bit more like difficult to kind of play around it. And you'd benefit a lot just from having it so that the spire is like it's kind of just like you can stand on the entire point, if you know what I mean. I think that would help a lot. So I think for mid, maps to take inspiration from would be like Gollywash, CP Sultry. I'll put a download for CP Sultry in the description. Trying to think, what else? For Lost, I would say Process, maybe Sunshine, because those are generally like not bad Losts. And then for Lobby, I would say like Coal Plant, maybe Gollywash, but more so Coal Plant, just because it's kind of, Coal Plant Lobby is a bit more like, it's all one level. Yeah, I think that about covers everything. So, I'll play the rollouts. Hopefully this helps out. Yeah, see ya.